Hey Ralph, what's going on, man?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Sky, how you doing, man? You're also completely horizontal. I mean vertical.
Huh? How's that?
Hey, hi.
Say hi. That's my daughter.
Oh, that's great. It was good to see you.
Nice,
Good to
man.
actually meet you.
Yeah, same here.
So the purpose of this video is to showcase a bunch of people who have become free from AS. It's not really about how to heal, it's just that it's possible. So I'm interviewing many different people asking them the same questions, so the more concise the better, to splice the responses together. Were you officially diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis by a medical doctor?
Yes.
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 I told him what I thought was going on, what I thought I had, and he tested me for HLA-B27. I think that's what it's called. It came back positive.
Yes, I was diagnosed in the state that I live in, and then I flew to California and went to the University of California in San Francisco and went to their ankylosing spondylitis specialty clinic, and I was diagnosed there as well.
Yep, I was. It was a while back, probably like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, somewhere in there.
Doctors usually had like a big suspicion with me that I had AS for about 6 months, but I was never actually like officially diagnosed. And when I was about to get diagnosed, that's when I met Ralph and, started the healing process.
Yes, it was. I had 2 MRIs of my SI joints. Both showed bilateral sacroiliitis.
Yep, a rheumatologist.
Historically, were you in a great deal of pain, and if so, for how long?
Yeah, man, it was brutal. It was about 5 or 6 really, really hard years.
Whew. About 8 years. Great deal of pain. It's hard to put a number on pain, but in terms of how it affects your movement, I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't stay in bed. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't stand up. Any possible physical position was just painful.
Yeah, I've been having pain for 10 years. Not anymore, though. So
I'd say it was most pronounced for about 3 years. And during that period, yes, I was almost not able to walk.
Oh, yeah, lots of pain. Probably for like 12 years.
Yes, for sure. It started when I was 23, 22, ended when I was about 27.
Stiff neck and reduced mobility in my neck. And this has been there for probably 5 years, but the doctor says that I will probably have been suffering from symptoms close to 10 years.
Yeah, the pain was very, very severe, but compared to a lot of people, I think I consider myself fortunate because I was in pain for about 6 months to 1 year, where I've heard of a lot of people, suffering for years and years.
Yeah, I was in a great deal of pain at different points in my life. Had it for about 26 years. So,
Have you now healed from AS?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah, completely.
absolutely.
I would say so. My symptoms, about half the time, are non-existent. I don't have any pain anymore about half the time. The other half the time, I probably have about 5% of what I used to have. So I would say so.
I don't think about AS anymore,
I'm doing a lot better. I don't know if I would say that I'm 100% there yet.
I'm pretty damn close. I'm feeling incredible. My body feels amazing, but I'm just finishing a cycle of prednisolone eye drops for my eyes.
I've been in remission for 2 years. As of October 2015, I went into remission, so it's October of 2017, so 2 years at this point. Pain-free, no medications yet.
Are you currently in pain? And if not, how long have you been pain-free?
Completely pain-free for about 10, 11 months.
So no pain at all, and for 2 years.
I've been pain-free for about 3 years now.
No, I'm not in any pain. I do notice sometimes that my body has these weird old patterns of movement, of like holding on. It's not like pain, but it's more like it's like an anticipation, and I got to remind myself that there's nothing going on and everything's fine.
Let's see. So I was in pain for about 4.5 years, and I've been out of pain for about 2.5.
Currently, very, very minor stuff. And the major stuff has subsided, I want to say, for about 6 months now.
Slight stiffness, but not pain as such, for about 2 months, more than 2 months now.
I wouldn't say I'm in any pain. I feel great. It's hard to say if, I don't know, maybe 3 months, something like that. However, I work out really hard, so it's hard to tell if the pain was just from working out. But it's been I'd say a year that I've felt really good.
No, I'm completely pain-free now. It's been about just over 1 year now.
Are you doing any specific diets, medications, supplements, exercises, surgeries, or medical treatments?
I stopped eating meat for spiritual reasons. That's the only diet I follow. But other than that, yeah, I still eat whatever I want.
Nothing at all.
No physio, no external doctors. I do a workout that Ralph gave me. It's a stability workout. That's been great. Really helped me out because it's like nothing that I do in the gym normally. So it's been really, really cool. I love the workout.
I'm not. I've done all that stuff in the past, for sure. And these days, no, I live a very free life. I don't have any dietary restrictions.
Gosh, no. I'm still taking Humira right now, but I've been taking that for a couple of years, and with mixed results. So, with the new, psychological discoveries that I've been making, I've been feeling a lot better.
I'm eating better than I used to before. I ate crap before. So I'm eating better than before. I do exercises. I did nothing previously. So I'm doing some exercises for myself. But that's about it. No supplements, just some vitamins occasionally, but nothing more than that.
No, absolutely nothing. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I'm free. No specific regimens or anything.
No diets, definitely not. I eat whatever I want. No medication except that the prednisolone for my eyes, like all of a sudden it was inflamed. So there's still some healing going on.
No, not at all.
Do you believe bone fusions are a concern for you?
No, my SI joints are fused the last time I had X-rays, but I don't think it's a concern. I actually think it's natural to have some fusing.
No, not for me. I used to when I was like heavily obsessed with AS and my body. Always focused on my body. The more I focus on how stiff I was, the worse everything got.
No.
I certainly did in the past. These days, no.
Whatever happens or has happened doesn't necessarily mean it's going to result in pain in the future.
Yes, it was a concern for sure. There's a lot of fear about bone fusion, especially because the MRI said there was some suspect fusions, but not anymore.
Not at all, because me personally, I didn't really have any bone fusions.
No. However, I do apparently X-ray revealed that my sacroiliac joint is just about fused. However, it's not a concern, and I'm not concerned about any other fusions happening.
I'm very confident in my remission, and so no, I'm not concerned about it.
What or who first made you realize that you could heal completely?
Talking to a friend of mine who I was working with for acupuncture. So he had to say it several times before I actually understood what he was telling me. Because most of the times when he would say it, I just couldn't believe it. And eventually things started to come together. Certain words kept coming up, trauma, PTSD, emotional stuff. And eventually I realized, okay, there's something here, because there's no way in hell that so many different people can mention the same thing over and over. And for some reason, it felt true to me. I didn't want to acknowledge it here, but in my body was responding to it as if there was something there. It's like almost like that gut feeling that says, there's something here that I'm. It's like it's there, but it's almost like at a distance, you know. So that was pretty much it.
You know, Mudman, there was something inside of me that always believed that the diagnosis and the probable patient outcomes and whatnot was bullshit. Like, I kind of just, there was a feeling inside of me that I knew that, like, there was another way. And I would have to say getting involved with Ralph and his group and meeting other people who have come through it.
I think it was other people's videos that I saw that somehow made it possible, I guess. Yeah.
The first positive message, really, for me, was finding a book called Heal for Real that was written by Peter Winslow.
I think that first realization came when I read Joe Dispenza's book, You Are the Placebo.
Two things. I think one was having a chat with Kyle basically gave me a lot of courage and positive point of view to look at it from, like, you know, that there is option of healing. Secondly, my faith in God and the Bible that I've been reading also. So these are the two things. But certainly having a chat with Kyle helped me a lot.
In the back of my mind, I sort of always knew, like, this wasn't the end. Like, you know, I'm not going to be stuck like this forever. Like, there has to be a way. And I was always, like, searching for ways to heal myself, but I just didn't know how. And then I stumbled upon Ralph's videos on YouTube, Ralph Fitness, and I started watching his videos, and then I eventually got in contact with him.
Peter Winslow worked with me closely, so I'd say Peter Winslow is definitely the biggest influence on me.
Working with a gentleman named Ralph Reitz out of New York City, just that he went into remission was the first time that I ever thought it was possible. I did have a good friend who was a medical doctor who told me sometimes seronegative arthritises are self-limiting. So I guess I had this idea that very rarely they do resolve, but I didn't know if that would be possible for myself. So seeing someone who'd done that and been able to replicate those results, that was completely through Ralph.
In about 30 to 40 seconds, how did you heal?
Good question.
How did I heal? Man, I just kind of, there became like a point where it was clear to me I had a decision. I could leave it behind or carry it with me. And I still have that decision in me now, where I could curl up in a ball and not do anything, or I could just go and live my life and do anything I want to do.
I found something more important. It's that simple. I found something more important in my life, something else to live for. I used to live for the pain. I was literally just constantly obsessed with finding ways to soothe it out and make it better, etc., etc. And my healing journey began when I found boxing to be more important, and I was interested in learning how to box with the pain. It's like, yeah, I don't even care about this pain anymore. I just want to box, and it became more interesting and more important to me, to the point where I was getting up in the morning, and instead of doing stretches so I can move right, I was doing stretches for my boxing.
The most concise answer would be just believing that it was possible.
That's a good question. I'm gonna pause for 30 seconds and have no time to answer. I think the biggest thing was that I changed my perspective of myself, and a lot of work was done, I guess, within myself that allowed me to be a lot calmer and able to kind of handle stresses in my life that I put on myself or that were external a lot better. And when I was calmer and when I was able to be in like a better mind space, it seemed like my body was able to also benefit from that and heal.
I love that question. I healed by understanding anxiety, stress, self-defeating thoughts, and the emotions that are tied to that, and how I was living in a chronic state of killing myself. The mental chatter I had in my head, I was so mean to myself, and I was just absolutely hating myself for years. And I recognize now that was stressing my body out all the time.
I got answers from both places. I believe I got answers from a non-biblical point of view, which was from Kyle's point of view, showing me what the cause was, how I could get healed, etc., as well as from a biblical point of view as well, how God has already given me healing.
Well, I think the healing process is very individualized because everyone's unique. So, what worked for me might not work for everybody, but I think the first step is to just believe that you can heal. And not even that, I think you just have to stop believing that you can't heal.
How did I heal? I realized that I can choose light instead of darkness.
With the help of Ralph Ruiz, my coach, I realized that my AS symptoms was kind of like a pretty much a direct reflection of my deep negative belief systems and my state of mind at the time and my perception of the world.
So for me, it's like, sorry, what was the question again?
How did you heal?
Man, you ask an AS person to answer something in 40 seconds. Well,